Dealing with a narcissist can feel like being trapped in a maze of mirrors. They twist your words, deny reality, and manipulate your emotions until you start to question your own sanity. It can feel impossible to get a straight answer, to have a real conversation, or to make them see what they are doing. But what if there was a way to cut through all the noise? What if there was a single phrase, a simple line that could act like a key, unlocking the truth of who they are? A line that could make them drop their mask, lose their composure, and reveal the frightened, fragile ego they work so hard to hide. In this video, we are going to talk about that line. We are going to explore why it is so powerful, how a narcissist will react to it, and what their reaction tells you about the person you are dealing with. I am Dr. Eleanor Whitmore, a psychologist with over 30 years of experience in the field of personality disorders. I have seen firsthand how a narcissist's carefully constructed world is built on a foundation of lies and illusions. They need to control the narrative. They need to be the hero of the story, the victim, the smartest person in the room. Their entire sense of self depends on maintaining this false image. When you challenge that image, even in a small way, it can cause their whole world to crumble. The line we are going to discuss today is not a magic spell. It is not a trick. It is a simple and powerful statement of truth. And for a narcissist, there is nothing more terrifying than the truth. The line is this: we remember things differently. That's it. It is not an attack. It is not an accusation. It is a calm, quiet, and firm statement. It does not say, "You are a liar." It does not say, "You are wrong." It simply states that your memory of an event is different from theirs. To a normal, healthy person, this phrase is not a big deal. A healthy person would likely respond with curiosity. They might say, "Oh, really? How do you remember it?" They would be open to the idea that two people can experience the same event and have different interpretations. They would see it as an opportunity for a conversation, a chance to understand your perspective. For a narcissist, this phrase is a declaration of war. To understand why this simple line is so explosive, you have to understand the core of a narcissist. A narcissist lives in a fantasy world that they have created. In this world, they are perfect, they are always right, and they are always in control. This fantasy is not just a preference, it is a survival mechanism. Deep down, underneath all the arrogance and grandiosity, the narcissist is hiding a very deep and very painful sense of shame and worthlessness. They feel like an empty, broken person. The fantasy world is the only thing that protects them from this unbearable feeling. They need to believe in their own perfection because the alternative is to face the truth of their own emptiness, and they will do anything to avoid that. This means that they need to control not only their own reality, but your reality as well. Why? They need you to believe in their fantasy world. They need you to agree with their version of events. You are a character in their play, and you are expected to follow their script. When you say, "We remember things differently," you are breaking the fourth wall. You are stepping out of your assigned role. You are telling them that you have your own mind, your own memory, and your own reality. You are telling them that you are a separate person and not just an extension of them. And for a narcissist, this is the ultimate betrayal. It is a direct challenge to their control, and it is a threat to the very foundation of their fragile self-esteem. So how will a narcissist react when you say this line? Their reaction will be swift and it will be intense. It will likely fall into one of three categories: narcissistic rage, gaslighting, or the silent treatment. Let's break down each one. First, let's talk about narcissistic rage. This is the most common and the most frightening reaction. When you challenge a narcissist's reality, they will often explode in a fit of rage. This is not like normal anger. Normal anger is usually a reaction to a specific event, and it is usually proportional to that event. Narcissistic rage is a volcanic eruption of fury that is completely out of proportion to the situation. It is the rage of a small child who has been told no. They will scream at you, they will call you names, they will insult your intelligence, your character, and your sanity. They might throw things, they might punch walls. In some cases, they might even become physically violent. The purpose of this rage is twofold. First, it is a way for them to release the intense anxiety and shame that you have triggered in them. By turning their inner pain into outer anger, they can avoid feeling it. Second, it is a way to punish you and to intimidate you. They want to scare you so much that you will never dare to challenge them again. They want to teach you a lesson. They want to make you back down, to apologize, and to agree with their version of events. Narcissistic rage is a terrifying thing to witness. It is designed to shock you into submission. It is a desperate attempt to regain control of the situation and to force you back into your box. If you are met with narcissistic rage, the most important thing to do is to stay calm and to not engage. Do not yell back. Do not defend yourself. Do not try to reason with them. You cannot reason with a volcano. The best thing you can do is to remove yourself from the situation as quickly and as safely as possible. Say, I am not going to be spoken to this way, and then leave the room. Go for a walk. Go to a friend's house. If you feel you are in physical danger, call for help. The key is to not give them the fight they are looking for. Their rage needs an audience. If you refuse to be that audience, it will eventually burn itself out. Now let's look at the second possible reaction, gaslighting. Gaslighting is a narcissist's favorite tool. It is a form of psychological manipulation where they try to make you doubt your own sanity, your own memory, and your own perception of reality. When you say, "We remember things differently," a narcissist will often respond with a series of statements designed to make you think you are the one who is crazy. They will say things like, "You are being too sensitive," "You are overreacting," "You are making things up," "You have a terrible memory," "You are always so dramatic." They will deny that the event ever happened. They will say, "I never said that," "I never did that," "You are imagining things." They will say it with so much confidence and so much conviction that you will start to question yourself. You will think, maybe I am being too sensitive, maybe I do have a bad memory. This is exactly what they want. They want to erode your trust in your own mind. If they can make you believe that you cannot trust your own perceptions, then they can control your reality. They can define what is real and what is not real, and you will be forced to accept their version of events because you no longer trust your own. The best way to fight gaslighting is to stay grounded in your own reality. This is where keeping a journal can be very helpful. When you have a written record of what happened, it is much harder for the narcissist to convince you that you are crazy. You can look at your own words and know that you are not imagining things. It is also important to have a support system of people who you can trust. Talk to a friend, a family member, or a therapist about what is happening. When you have other people who can validate your reality, it makes it much harder for the narcissist to isolate you and to make you feel like you are alone in your confusion. When a narcissist tries to gaslight you, do not argue with them. Do not try to prove that your memory is correct. You will just get pulled deeper into their game. Instead, you can simply repeat your original statement. I understand that is how you remember it, but I remember it differently. This is a way of holding on to your own reality without getting into a pointless fight. Finally, let's talk about the third reaction, the silent treatment. The silent treatment is a form of passive-aggressive abuse. It is a way of punishing you without saying a word. When you say, "We remember things differently," a narcissist might respond by completely shutting down. They will stop talking to you. They will not look at you. They will not acknowledge your existence. They will treat you like you are invisible. This can go on for hours, for days, or even for weeks. The purpose of the silent treatment is to make you feel so anxious, so lonely, and so desperate for their approval that you will eventually break. They are waiting for you to come crawling back to them, to apologize for whatever you did wrong, and to beg for their forgiveness. They want you to be the one to fix the situation. They want you to take all the blame. The silent treatment is a very cruel and very effective form of control. It is a way of making you feel like you are a bad person who is not worthy of their love or their attention. It is a way of training you to never disagree with them again. If you are on the receiving end of the silent treatment, it is very important to not play the game. Do not beg for their forgiveness. Do not keep trying to talk to them. Do not apologize for something you did not do. This is what they want you to do. Instead, you should emotionally disengage, go about your life, talk to your friends, do things that you enjoy. Show them that their silence does not have power over you. This will drive them crazy. A narcissist cannot stand to be ignored. They need your attention, even if it is negative attention. So the simple phrase, "We remember things differently," is a very powerful tool. It is a way of testing the person you are with. A healthy person will respond with curiosity and respect. A narcissist will respond with rage, with gaslighting, or with the silent treatment. Their reaction will tell you everything you need to know about their character. It will show you that they are not interested in a relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. They are interested in a relationship based on power and control. They need to be right, and they need you to be wrong. They need to be the master, and they need you to be the puppet. When you see this, you have a choice to make. You can continue to play their game, to walk on eggshells, and to live in their fantasy world. Or you can decide that you deserve to live in reality. You can decide that you deserve to have your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own memories. You can decide that you deserve to be treated with respect, and you can decide to walk away. It is not an easy choice, but it is the only choice that will lead to your own freedom and your own happiness. Thank you for listening.